guys, it's Adia, Aaron, and Katie, and we are 29 and chronically online. Before we get into this episode, we just wanted to remind you to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. We also have an Instagram at 29 and .co and a TikTok at 29 and co. And guess what? We have a YouTube, where you can watch all of our videos. So we love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Now let's get to the good stuff.
Welcome back to the pod, everyone. We are 29 and chronically online. Not for much longer, but today we're going to do something a little different, something that's not our norm personally. We're going to be lover girls this episode, which is crazy.
We're snapping.
Some of us aren't ready. Me.
I know. I was having difficulty coming up with a list of things, and I was like, okay, well, most of these are like food related or just like random, like
that's so funny,
driving like things. So yeah, so I guess I'll get us started on our Lover Girl app.
Yeah.
And because this happened, like I had one of these yesterday. Shout out to the hot dog vendors on the side of the road outside of concert and events.
Bless.
That it smells so good. The hot dogs are so good. I had a hot dog, a bacon wrapped hot dog with like peppers, onions, like mayo, mustard, ketchup. I was like, this is everything. And this is exactly what I needed after a 2.5 to 3 hour concert. So love you.
Can we just give it up to hot dog vendors in general? Like
anywhere? I was gonna say, like,
yeah.
There's a class of people going to heaven, and it's hot dog vendors.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
They earn their spot, and I do want to shout out $2 hot dog Fridays for Norfolk Admirals, because if there's one thing to get me somewhere, it is a glizzy. Like,
yes.
There you go.
Easy. Costco, I don't even have a membership anymore. I'll just go to get a hot dog. Like, you can't beat that. It's the
honestly
perfect food. So, yeah. Good way to start us off. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a really
I just
good
was
one.
like, this is really present to my life right now. Still dreaming about it. So
that sounds really good, actually. When I was pregnant, I craved hot dogs all the time, and the only place that I could find like a hot dog to go like that was Wawa.
Oh,
and
it's kind of like hit or miss there.
It was so
pretty
hit or
dry,
miss, and it was such a bummer because like when it hit, hit. You know,
you know who has good ones? Usually 7-Eleven. Usually they have, because they have the big bites. Is that what they're called?
true.
They're usually at least kind of fresh, because
so.
Wawa's like sit under that light, and you're
do.
like, what is going on here? But at least they got them on the rollers at 7-Eleven.
I know they get some movement going. Yeah,
exactly.
They at least look juicy for the most
Exactly.
part. Yeah. Wow, great way to start us off.
Thank you.
I'll continue that with saying free food. I'm such a lover girl for free food. If there's one thing that I love more than anything, it's just the ability to eat for free.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what it is. Like, it could be like garbage, and I'm like, hey, at least it's free. Like,
well, there's always something
at
some event. Like,
exactly.
They never just have one thing at an event. Like, you're gonna find something you like.
Exactly. And you can't beat not having to pay for something, but when it's food, then it's like another level up. Like, because it's so tiring to have to buy food all the time. Like, you know,
it does get old. I feel like I'm at the store every day.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing here?
I'm so tired of it.
Sometimes I just don't eat just because I just don't.
Can't be bothered.
No, it's just not even worth it. Like, I'll try again tomorrow. But yeah, free food for sure. Love a girl. All over that. So
yeah. I guess to keep it food related, one of mine, which was in the group chat, is when you go to Sonic and you drive into the stall and then you sit there and eat your whole haul just like in the stall. You got the windows down, like they're like
it's
early
nice
2000s, like playlist is popping in the background. You have an ocean water.
Some of my favorite memories from college were like sitting in the Sonic.
I literally have photos on my grid of like my Sonic.
Yeah.
Like
even in childhood, like getting a nice grilled cheese back when Sonic had those fun like kids toys. That memories right there. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sonic will always be famous.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would like to shout out the French toast sticks at Sonic. Those are everything to me. And I don't like, there's no Sonics. Like, I don't think there are Sonics around LA. So it's
I'm
like,
sorry.
Yeah.
I dream of that. I miss you. I'll come get you when I'm back on the East Coast.
Oh, and then of course we have to talk about Sonic Ice. There's nothing more
Yeah.
superior than Sonic Ice.
For
like,
sure.
Come on. Come on. It
People
makes
are like
everything
now
good.
trying to like do that same thing. Like ice makers are like, oh, now it's the small ice, the Sonic, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's the Sonic Ice.
It's Sonic Ice.
Just
like,
say that.
That's what it is. That's the name.
Yeah.
Sonic Ice.
That's the name.
You can
Yeah.
buy it now. Actually, they sell it in the summer of like bags of it, which is great, but it's not like $2 bags of ice like you
Yeah.
normally. It's like $5 or something. So
Yeah.
And it is the perfect ice because
Yeah.
the big ice cubes just melt, and I feel like they stay crisper longer for some reason. It like gets
Crunching
more
on
into the
Sonic
drink.
Ice.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
you get a
Like
drink
they
from
keep your
McDonald's,
drink cold, like,
watered down in 20 minutes. Like,
Sonic Ice.
but you get
Yeah.
a Sonic like soda, and the ice is still there even after you finish the drink.
no,
like
actually
it's
true.
And it's great to munch on.
yeah.
We could go on and on.
Clearly, Sonic is like they have
Us
hot dogs
just, like,
there.
listing the entire Sonic
Honestly.
menu. Like we're just like, oh yeah, this.
Shout out to the popcorn chicken.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
yeah.
perfectly breaded.
I mean-
Jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole menu.
the
really, it's
mozzarella
just-
sticks.
Oh,
the tater
Honestly, I don't-
tots.
That's
I was like, the French fries I don't mind actually. So I'm like, okay, shout out them.
They have
all
breakfast
good.
all day.
breakfast
I mean,
all day. The
straight up,
drink selections.
I need them
Yeah.
to sponsor us. Like, I'm not even kidding.
I'm
I've been
going after
trying.
this.
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
after this.
I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram last year I was posting about it because like I have hard posted them on my grid for years. Like, and I'm like
OG
I'm
fan.
constantly talking about last year I
Yeah.
got the Red Bull slushes. God, I was making them at home. I
Yeah.
loved them so much. Like I'm
Yeah.
just like a Sonic bitch. Like I don't know.
We are Sonic bitches, that's for sure.
We are.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sponsor us, thank you.
Please. I'll just
Wow.
yeah. I'll take a gift card or something.
Something.
Like some swag.
A shout
I don't-
out,
yeah.
a shirt,
Like
a
us all
hat.
coming in with like Sonic hats on. Like
It doesn't.
I would
even
love
need to
it.
be-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm obsessed.
Continuing on, I'll just do the two for here for food. Chipotle prices in 2012, top
Yeah.
tier, and it's coming back
Yeah.
around again. Of like people remembering the good old days of Chipotle, where they actually gave you food and the prices were decent, and you would. I just in high school, the thing was to just go to Chipotle, and you could
Yeah.
actually afford it
Same,
as a high school
same.
student. And now, as a grown adult with a full-time job, like you have to
Yeah.
get a loan out to go to Chipotle now. Like it is like.
I mean, it's like a $15
But
bowl for like a
actually,
veggie bowl.
It is.
Like, what are
God
we?
forbid you
Yeah.
want chips and guac, then it's
Yeah.
game over. Like it's
I'm
ridiculous.
like constantly spending like $20 at Chipotle, and that's
Yeah.
like not okay.
No.
I'm like,
and you
I
feel
thought this was
bad.
supposed to be $11.
Yeah.
And that's with guac. Like, what
No.
are we doing here?
They give you 2 morsels of chicken. They give you 3 grains of rice. Like it is just ridiculous.
And you're like
it's-
more, and they're like literally one more
No,
piece. And they're
like,
like,
just-
hello.
They're like, okay.
Like they're gonna get shot in the back if they give you anything extra. Like it is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, shout out to Chipotle in 2012. Those were the days.
Yeah, we
Um,
miss you.
We really do. Honestly, please come back. I know like people are like starting to like not boycott Chipotle, but like order and then leave, which
I've been seeing some weird stuff because they've had
that-
like a lot of bugs in their food recently too. And they
Yeah.
had the whole lettuce thing like a couple
and they're
years
like
ago.
doing antibiotics again or something. I don't know.
There's like a
they're-
lot happening there.
Yeah, they're just going downhill.
yeah.
It's just it's not good.
It's turning into money laundering.
The prices are going up, and the quality is going down. Like, what are we doing?
Basic economics is like not that doesn't even make sense. You know, take one
No.
business class, but we'll see the downfall of Chipotle soon enough.
I think so too.
And then my other one was just Taco Bell Fortista freezes. If I ever become president or ever am in a spot of power, the first thing that I'm signing and passing is to demand that they bring them back.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I would love to add to your bill the 4 for 4, the Wendy's 4 for
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
It was a disservice to Americans to take that away. Like, if there
For
is
sure.
one thing that we deserve as Americans, it's to go to a fast food restaurant and get 4 items for $4.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't get that anywhere else.
I know. Now it's the $5 biggie bag, and they didn't do anything different. I'm
No.
like, why? I'm getting the same food
But-
for a whole $1 more.
But 4 for $4 just sounds better.
yeah.
And
Yeah. It's clean. It's crisp. Like,
right.
$5
4
biggie
4
bag.
4.
Also, the biggie bag makes you feel like you're big bag.
Like a big bag. Yes. Big bag, biggie bag. Like that's
I like pull up and I'm like, can I get the big bag? It's like, what the fuck?
like you feel you don't want to say that at the window. Like it's
No,
just
no.
they're like, oh, we know she's
that's
hungry.
embarrassing.
Like No.
Like, I'm getting the junior bacon cheeseburger. Like, don't come for me like this. It's like, I'm getting the JBC. Don't worry about it.
It's wrong. It's just wrong. So many levels. Yeah, they need to bring it back. 4 for $4, just, it's just enough. You know?
Yeah,
it's just
it is.
enough
It is.
to satisfy the appetite and keep it moving.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't like you were getting that much food. Like, it was a small fry, 4 nuggets. Like, it's a reasonable amount. But, you know, I feel like, it was just a deal. It was a steal.
It was, and that's why they probably ended it. They were probably losing money on it, but you know, it's what the people want. So like, give us what
more business.
These
if you
are
have
literally
what you want.
These are the things that need to be on the election this year. It's like, who's bringing back the 4 for $4? Who's like bringing back Chipotle's quality? Like, these are the things that matter to Americans, and I'm tired of acting like they're not important.
I mean, we should moderate the debate and ask the questions.
100%.
We have the hard-hitting questions.
First of all, Donald Trump probably wouldn't even know. He wouldn't even know what a 4 for $4 is.
Yeah, he's probably like getting it radioed and he's like, And
Joe Biden's going to be like 44. Like, he's going to just speak completely out of it. So, yeah.
It is what it is.
We do miss it, though. We do miss those food items for sure, so.
We do. I would like to add one more to our food train that we've got going. I just love nachos. Like, I don't.
Wow. Beautiful.
I have nothing else to say besides they're amazing. They're everything. They're that girl.
It's
so
every food group.
You can do anything to a nacho.
Anything and everything. And then I love the different variations of like tachos or like fried. Like, it's the
fried nachos, like wherever those are sold. Thank you.
They hit. Like, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I'm a fan too. I'm a fan too. Especially, I think my love of nachos stems from Kim Possible, with the
nacho. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That it just looked so good. And playing that game, oh my gosh, where you have to make the nachos and stuff.
The game.
Oh gosh, that was
bring
a
it
good time.
back, Jim.
That was a good time. Disney Channel games were the best. So
they really were.
That kind of segues into my main love. Honestly, it's more relatable now, but like being a Zayn stan since the beginning and getting fed to the high heavens this past month has truly been like such a blessing. Like, I feel so revived being a Zayn fan because he's just giving.
You waited a long time.
I did,
and now you're having that content. So it's really it's a gift.
It's been a good time. It's been really hard being a Zayn fan because he's so reclusive and like
I feel like he was kind of like he had Mind of Mine and it was a bop and we loved her, and then his next album was kind of like people forgot about her. It was like okay, and then I feel like now he's actually making music that he actually probably wants to make. Like Mind of Mine was very like still in the same like realm, same vein, but now it's like he can do what he wants now for real.
It's amazing. It's been the album has been on like repeat, and then he has a Z sides, which I love the idea of a Z sides instead of B sides, but he's like doing meet and greets. First of all, 2024
meet and greets are crazy.
Meet and greet in a 2020 like
one of my followers met him this week. I sent it to Erin because I was like, I pulled up my Instagram and she's like, come with me to meet Zayn. I was like, bitch, you're kidding.
I didn't know that was your follower. I thought that was just like somebody you saw.
We're mutuals. I've never met her, but like we're mutuals.
Yeah.
And like we follow each other on Twitter
That's
too.
sickening. That's sickening. I can't imagine what I would do meeting Zayn in the year of 2024.
She has her whole video is like her whole experience. So she's talking about going there. She had a little bit of it recorded on her Apple Watch, and she's like, you can hear my voice shaking. She's like, I told him I'm jealous of his chickens. Like you do like black out. She literally was like, I blacked out. I don't even know like what.
I don't know how I would. I'm just speechless even just thinking about the possibility that that's like actually
just like him existing.
Yeah, like that's a thing.
Yeah.
He's doing interviews, he's doing press tours, he's giving so much, and I'm just
he's out here.
I'm happy. He's acknowledging One Direction.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Yes.
Yeah.
I just you would have never thought. You would have never thought. So,
he's doing it better than everyone else because, him and Niall, I feel like, are the best about because Harry, he's never going to mention One Direction.
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely not.
Never again.
It's just like,
it's never happened.
It doesn't have to be a big thing. You just, it
just know
attributed
your roots.
to everything. Yeah, exactly.
Just remember them. Come on.
That's it. But
5 years of your life you can't get back. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. But
what made you famous? But okay.
10 years of my life I can't get back. But
exactly, 10 years of my life, hundreds of thousands of dollars, tears. Like, you know, we put a lot into it. So the least you can do is just acknowledge where you come from.
Exactly.
But that does go into my other love, which I mentioned last week. Is like, I just love that I was around for 1D5 sauce era. Like,
yeah.
I just, you know, there's some things you can brag about, and that I will always brag about that. Like, there's just, you're a different tier of a fangirl if you were around during that time. Like, you just have, like, cred, you know, of, like, being, like, a legit fangirl. And
well, because now people are like, I wish I was, like, alive or, like, conscious for that.
Exactly.
And it's like,
whenever I see people, like, make TikToks about, like, oh, I wish I was a 1D stan back in 2013, or I wish I was I was like, first of all, stop making me feel old.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you should wish you were that, because it was the best time.
It was.
Like,
everything that you think that it was, it was.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they were hooking up with
And
fans that
more,
were
so
my
don't get it
age.
twisted.
Like,
Sickening.
I could have been hooking up with them. Like,
Sickening.
we're kidding.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a time.
It really was. Like,
What
that
a
girl,
time.
that was the moment.
It was.
Because they were also, both were giving everything. They were socially present online, like, everything.
Yeah.
Interviews
the
together,
drama,
the photos together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a good time.
The Gemma Styles of it all.
Gosh.
Now
What
she has a
would-
baby. Like,
I
wow.
know.
Just rant. Like, where are we now? Time has just flown by. It's crazy.
Ugh,
Remember
seriously.
their first date, like at that show that they had?
Yeah.
It's just, what a
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Crazy.
We could reminisce on that forever, but
Yeah.
I'll always say it. I just love that. Like, there's, you know, put it on my grave. Like, you know,
Yeah.
in your obituary, they like name all your accomplishments. It needs to go in my obituary that she attended the tour, she was there, she was present.
Mhm.
I love that idea, actually.
You
I'm
know?
going to jot that down, I think.
Yeah, have this be stated in case, or not in case, it's going to happen
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually,
Yeah.
if it happens. No, yeah, for sure. Keep that in
You
there.
might get turned into a vampire. Who knows? Then what?
Then,
On your fake grave?
and then I'll go back to high school. 'Cause that's,
No.
that's what every vampire does.
No, we're past
apparently.
that. We're past that.
Just go back to high school. Could you imagine?
Interview with a vampire, they don't do that.
No, you get to live forever, and
No, literally, you're
the-
back in high
the
school.
time
What
you want to
is
go
that?
to is
You're like,
high school.
okay. No.
No,
The only reason they did it in the Vampire Diaries is because of Elena. He wouldn't have done that otherwise, but that's still besides the point. It's still,
Also,
why'd you do it at all?
if
You're
you've been
145.
around, yeah, you've been around for 100 years. How are you not rich yet? Like, you should know how the game works by then. You know what I'm saying?
You should have
Like,
robbed a couple banks at least. Like, come
exactly.
on.
They were rich in Twilight, so there's that.
They were.
And they were like,
True.
sort of rich in Vampire Diaries.
One of them was
True Blood, though. They're fucking poor as
That's
fuck
what I'm
in
saying.
True Blood.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
What
Like,
is that
where-
about?
Where is that going? Like, how do you not know that? Anyway, we
Yeah.
can go
Sorry. That'll be another episode. Sorry, Erin.
theoretically about why vampires aren't rich,
So
but
funny.
anyway.
Oh, okay, not 1D related. Well, actually, it kind of does relate to 1D, but getting to a concert venue and your seat being closer than you thought it would be.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that is everything. I do remember my second One Direction concert. I saw them and I had floor seats. And so me and my friend were walking to our seats and we're like, oh, that's not our section. Oh, that's not our section. And we like kept walking closer and closer to the stage. And boom, I was 2 rows away from the box.
Yeah.
At the corner, I had all the interactions. Harry Styles blew a kiss at me because I had a sign that said "Kiss me, I'm 20" on it, and he was also 20. So I was like, "Thank you." But yeah,
Oh my!
it was just a moment.
Yeah. That is good because when we showed up to Hojo last week, like I knew we were in the hundreds, but then I was like
You
closer.
were right next to when he popped up, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but it's just like you don't know when you're like you have an idea, but then you get there and you're like, wait, this is actually
No. Even
yeah.
when you go
Yeah.
to like viewmyseat.com,
Yes.
it's still not like
It
really
still never like
there.
shows you exactly what it is.
Exactly.
So,
That is the best. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I will say, to jump off of that, I love, because you guys know that I do this, but like, oh, you do know because I tried to do it. We went to see the Jonas Brothers.
Oh.
And I do it everywhere.
We
But
didn't
like,
tell that story when we did our concert episode
We
either. I was
didn't.
like, we missed an
No,
opportunity.
oh, we did
I
it.
love when that actually works. So,
right.
and it's in case you don't know, which you wouldn't know because we haven't talked about it. But
I was like, so
in case you don't know, in case you missed it.
In case you don't talk to us 24/7, but
then
anyway.
exactly. But essentially, what I do for events that are not sold out, I will look on Ticketmaster about like an hour before the show, even sometimes like during the show, and see what seats were not sold, and then I will either create my ticket to look like that seat and like flash it, because usually when you're going to like your seat, they're not scanning it, they're just looking to see where you are, and then they tell you where to go. So I've like either photoshopped it or like just tell them like, hey, I'm in this area, and they'll direct me to go, and I'll sit there. But this only works if you get there early enough, because sometimes other people do this and they'll be sitting there and it'll ruin the whole thing for you. So
yeah,
but it has worked for plenty of times for me. So, and every time I tell someone, they're either like really about it, like, yeah, or they're like, oh my gosh, no, we're going to get kicked out. And it's like,
the worst they could do is tell you to go to your real seat.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you could just be like confused. Or cry. Like, no one's going to like bother a grown woman crying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
so true.
we hope. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything, it works best if you go to multiple dates. Like, don't do it on like the one time that they're coming to your city and like the off chance you're going to get kicked out. But it's like, if you're seeing them like the third time and you just want to get a closer seat, go for it. Like,
Yeah,
what
why
do you
not?
have to lose? You've already seen the show, you know? Like, yeah. Anyway,
that's fair.
but I love when it works. So
Yeah. Too bad. Next time, maybe.
next, next time. That was a rough one.
I know, because we were going to be real close.
We were going to be
Like,
right
like
there.
we walked to the seats, and it was like 5 rows
By
from
the
their like
B
B
stage.
stage, and we were like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. We looked to our right, Biddy's sitting there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were like, turn immediately.
the lady who looked at our
to
tickets
walk
like,
away.
Go all the way up to the rafters.
No, literally, like, we're on the
literally,
ceiling.
We are touching the ceiling of
To
the
touch
Capital
the
One
top
Arena.
of the Capitol.
If
people
you
are
lean-
jumping and it's like shaking the
shaking.
ground.
You lean over 2 inches too far, you're tumbling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Screens
then
are off.
no,
Can't see a damn thing.
Can't see a single thing. And then what we could see is where the seats would have been though, and the interactions
Yeah.
that Joe had the entire night for that section.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was a rough.
It's getting
one.
a little too hater. We got to bring
It
it
is.
back. We
Yeah,
gotta bring
yeah,
it back.
okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Bring
Back-
it back.
back to the
One
Lover
thing
Girl.
I do love, a good boy band.
Yeah.
Like I just
Oh my gosh.
I just am a lover girl for a good boy band, and I saw 2 of my fave boy bands this week, and
Love
I'm
that
just
for you.
alive and well. Like it was an amazing time, and both I had closer seats than I thought I actually
gonna
purchased.
say
So
that.
love that.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that you looked pretty close. Like you got some clear views.
Yeah.
I know. I was like shocked when I like actually looked at my videos, and I was like, oh, these are clear, and I would look at these again.
Yeah.
And not just be like
Whoa.
blurs in the wind. Like
There's
So.
nothing beats a good boy band, and I don't know like what it is about. Maybe it's the looks, maybe it's the
It's like
catchy
the
music,
harmonies,
but
though,
like
because it's all like happening.
it's just a good
Mhm.
time. Like being a
Yeah.
fan of a boy band is just a good time. Like there's nothing bad about
Yeah.
it.
and you just have so much to go on. Like when
Mhm.
it's one artist, that's all you got. But then when there's 5 of them, there's so much
Exactly.
happening.
And
Like,
they're the same age as you, and
Yeah. there's a lot to
Yeah.
keep up with.
It's and I think the movie, the idea of you like rekindled my love of boy bands because
literally when I was editing that, I'm like, I can't even listen to this.
No,
like
it
I can't
rekindled
do
it.
it.
Like I forgot how much I like can really get into a boy band.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
cause now like being an adult, you're like, okay, I like it. I like the music, but like
Mhm.
no, back in the day, like it was a lifestyle.
no, now
Like,
I'm like, I have adult money to be spending on this, and it's which one is a slippery slope?
Mhm.
Like which one's worse? I don't know.
it's bad.
It is.
And it's
It really
even
is.
worse
Both.
that August Moon songs are actually
can't.
really good.
No, yeah, I
Like,
I've
can't
been
do it.
listening. That's gonna be on my Spotify Wrapped. Like,
It is.
that's
It
gonna
is.
be there.
It is. I was bopping to a song today on shuffle. I'm like, who is this? Who is this? And it was August
Who's
Moon.
this?
I'm like, listen, I'm gonna go watch this
I'm
movie
gonna-
again. Like, I cannot. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. They need to do the documentary style of August Moon, like they have.
Yeah. This is us of August.
Yeah.
Moon. Yeah.
They're
Just,
not
like,
even real.
Take that middle part of like the idea of you out, add more to it, and let's move on. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm sad that they're not a real band. Like I think that's the worst part is like I will never see August Moon live.
I know. I wonder like if Nick Galitzine was not as big, like because he wasn't as big when they filmed this. I wonder like if he would have just not blown up, would they have done like they wouldn't have done a sequel, but could they have done something? Because I know Daisy Jones and the Six was a show that came out like last year, and they were actually going to play at I think it's like Lollapalooza or something, but it's a fictional band, but they had it all planned out to play. Like they could have done the same shit with August Moon, but now Nick's too booked and busy. Like
especially at Coachella, they could have done that.
For sure.
That would have been just like the bit. Like they're actually performing at Coachella now. Like
exactly.
Come on, please.
None of mine relate to any of it. Like they're just all like,
you could just take us somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Take us somewhere.
I wrote down the Tiger Woods big dog meme. Every time I see that meme, I laugh. Also, obviously the Kamala Harris coconut one. Those two are my girls.
The coconut one is truly that.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
I think like before you mentioned the Kamala Harris meme like a couple weeks ago, I had only seen it like once or twice.
Yeah.
And now it's like every other video on my
and I cackle every time.
What can I say? I'm obsessed.
Time. It's a good one. Memes in general. Yeah.
That Tiger Woods one. Yeah. Every iteration of it makes me laugh.
I've been saying it, but no one gets it. I'm like,
it is a little niche because like Big Dog could be anything. So if you don't know, like, it's like okay.
It's Gosh, that's a good one though.
I wrote down my YouTube algorithm as well. They stay having things that I want to watch on my YouTube algorithm. I'm obsessed.
Ooh.
I open it up every day and I'm like, I do want to watch this.
You're like, I do, click.
I will say the same, but the algorithm for the videos that Phoenix has watched are great.
Oh, okay.
Like my algorithm is fucked. I don't have a YouTube algorithm. It's all Phoenix.
Does he use your profile?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's
all, like it's not like a kid's or whatever.
It's all him.
Yeah.
And it suggests some great stuff, which is great, some variety in there, but like when I go and I want to watch my stuff, it's like
gone.
It's not even there. It's non-existent. So I don't even know what to watch on YouTube anymore.
I put up the app the other day, and it was like a 2-hour video on how to survive time traveling to the medieval times. Tell me why I was sad.
I would be sad too.
That's interesting.
Share that in the GC.
Okay. Yeah. No, it was really good. He had really good, useful tips. He's like, if you're there, don't go to a town. You want to go to a village because there's more people and they're going to be less confused of why you're there. And I'm like, you're kind of right. Like, he had a lot of good points.
He ate with that
No,
point.
he really did. Then he did a Q&A because there were so many questions in the comments.
Wow.
Like, link that.
Yeah.
I need something
but like,
to
that's
watch.
what I'm saying. Like, I pull up YouTube and I'm like, this is it. Like, this is what I want to watch.
The niche thing I want to watch. Yeah.
And it's always like a 2-hour video, and I'm like, I will be sat for this whole thing.
Shout out Google.
Yeah, I guess it is Google, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
That's wild.
My my other thing that I have in here, 2 of them are related. One, getting all of the green lights when you're driving.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like right when you get there, so you don't have to like fully stop and then it turns green and you get to keep cruising. Nothing feels better than that. You don't even have to put your foot on the brake. Love that. And then the other one is when you're driving and you get over into the other lane and that lane starts going faster and you see the suckers in the other lane that you just left.
Yes, I made the right choice.
I love that. It's amazing. And then this is more specific to 757, but driving through the bridge and there's not traffic.
Yeah.
I thank God every day I get to drive through the bridge and there's not traffic. Like there's truly like tears of joy when it's a clear view to the end of the tunnel. Like there's just nothing better than that.
When you go in and there's no cars at all, you're like, thank God.
This is how it should be.
Yeah.
Like you're just
I can go 75 like God intended.
As it should be. Like it's truly it's like when your nose
I don't have
is
to go
stuffed
35
No.
because someone's scared of the tunnel in front of me and braking.
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's the worst. So but yeah, when that's clear, baby, the whole world is my oyster. Like anything's
100%.
possible.
You're getting to your destination 10 minutes earlier than you anticipated. It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
As it should be, for real. For some reason, I put kicks in here. I don't know what that was. I don't remember. I was probably mid-sentence there. Kicks. What was I talking about? I don't know what I was talking about there. Some other things that I have in here, live music. Nothing beats hearing songs live. but only when it's a good performance, because I've heard like horrible performances and it just ruined like the entire thing. Something being cheaper than you expected it to be. Like, I love when I try to calculate prices and then when I get to the register, it's actually cheaper. And I'm like, lit, I'll add some more stuff. And then another one that I have here is Sonder, which is just a word that I learned about. And I had it pulled up. Do you guys know what it is?
No.
Oh. Sonder is the feeling one has of realizing that every other individual sees life as full and real as their own. So it's like
basically consciousness.
Yeah, but like everyone
but a better
is
word
experiencing like, you know, like when you have the idea of like, whoa, I'm a human, I'm actually experiencing this. Sonder is when you realize that other people have that too. I found this word on a list of like words that are not like in English. Like English doesn't have like
like a direct translation or something.
Of words in other languages that are not like, there's nothing to like compare it to. In English. And I'm like, Sonder's nice. Sonder's nice. That makes sense.
I like that. Yeah.
Because it kind of sounds like wonder, which is kind of a similar, like, in the vein, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's been interesting because especially as like a main character girly, it's always hard for me to
that everybody else is not an NPC.
Yeah, that everyone else is like not a side character and like they're main characters in their own life. I mean, I think some people are NPCs. Like there's just not everyone can be a main character. Like it's just that's just how the world works. There's 7 billion people. Not everyone's a main character, but yeah.
But there are others out there.
There are others, I will say. There you go. Exactly. I mean, we're all main characters, so like we don't have to worry about that, but
yeah.
For the others. Oh, I know what kicks meant. I meant to write icks.
Icks. Oh.
I meant to write icks. And I wrote kicks.
It auto-corrected. Don't even worry
that
about
was going to bug me until I figured it out. Icks.
That's so funny.
There we go.
I feel like a lot of mine are kind of predictable. Like, you guys already know a lot of this about me. Like, I love rolling up to the tennis courts and there only being other tennis players there. Like, please.
Yeah.
God, I pray for that day. There was, Scott and I played over the weekend and we were the only people there. And it was like 10:30 at night. And I was like, it was 60 degrees. I'm like, this is the moment. I was coaching him on serving. I was like, I could live here. I could do this forever.
Yeah.
And then we showed up yesterday. There were pickleball players and I was like, I'll kill myself on this court.
So make a core memory for all of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, and yesterday the balls were like doing that whack. It was just like so full. I was like, this is the vibe. So I feel like we know that about me already. Like I love a tennis court, the smell of a fresh tennis ball, like the sound.
That does remind me of another love. Talking about tennis, going to challengers and then challengers going to homoerotic relationships between two men that aren't really gay.
Wait, so did you watch it?
I did not.
Oh,
but
okay.
The vibe. It's the vibe.
Yeah.
I know they are. I don't know what they are. I haven't seen the movie, but
I'm
I
not
know
gonna spoil anything for
the
you.
vibe between two men sometimes when like and I'm not talking about like Larry situations. I'm talking about like we're not talking about that. We're talking about
we're not there, but
like the actual like you can feel the tension. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, because so many men like repress that kind of energy, and so like being into it and like it being real and valid is like I'm obsessed with it.
I'm kind of a fan.
No, that's why Challengers is so good because it leans into the like idea of like I mean the whole thing.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
I'm a fan, so I'm nervous to watch Challengers because I think I'm gonna like it too much.
No, I literally I've seen it twice in theaters already.
I'm gonna get banned from
They're gonna be like, Mia, please
when
leave.
You go,
you've already seen this 17 times today, so
when you go, like let me know. Like I want to be there.
Yeah,
it is so good. I have cried both times just because like the end
flips
like is just
it
embodies everything that they wanted in that movie. Like everything that they're building up towards like is the last scene and you're like
I can't think of any other examples right now besides that, but
it's just like
when I see it I'm just like that's it. That's it. I like that.
That's the one.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like everything. Like we've talked about Brokeback Mountain, like that.
Yes,
I mean, that's a little bit more explicit in that it was like homoerotic. But Interview with the Vampire, same vibe.
Just,
Lord of the Rings, like what if Frodo kissed? Like how do you know they didn't kiss? Like that's
just saying.
That's the vibe.
I'm just
giving.
saying.
I love.
That's
I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, that just reminded me. Thank you.
Yeah.
That wasn't on my list.
Well, since we're talking about challengers, my other one, again, you guys know that everybody who listens to this podcast knows this, but I had to write it down. Sitting in a dark ass theater with a fresh popcorn, a fresh Mellow Yellow Zero Sugar.
Fresh.
And then being the only person in the theater. I was the only person in my theater the other day, and it was life-giving because you guys know I've had some bad experiences this year. And when I showed up, I was like, there are other people who bought tickets, so I'm not holding my breath. And then the movie started and nobody came, and I was like, this is cinema. This is what I needed. So obsessed.
I was gonna say another one of my really big loves is when someone gets the bit that you're doing and you can continue to do a bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like when people get the bit and you're like they're in on it. It's just nothing is better than that. Like, but nothing's also worse than doing a bit and no one gets it, and then you realize you're the chronically online person in the room. Yeah. And you have brain rot, and no one knows that you're quoting a TikTok, and they're just like, "What are you talking about?" Don't like that. But
you're like, oh.
Yeah, but when they do know, it's great. It's a good time.
I would say Saturdays because just love Saturdays. And there's a weekend day after it.
Yeah.
So
just knowing you don't have to wake up the next day.
Yeah.
I cannot relate. I get my child on Saturday, so
yeah.
I wish I could relate. I am not free on Saturdays.
Well,
sorry to you. No, I'm kidding.
That's funny.
Gosh.
I do have one similar because I wrote down when I wake up on the weekend and I just like start reading in the morning with a cup of Earl Grey. Like it's just like couldn't be better.
That's nice.
Couldn't be better. Also Earl Grey, but no surprise there.
Just tea for me, honestly. Just
yeah.
One of my loves, tea.
You're so right for that.
Hearing a song that you haven't heard for a while and that you used to love, just like that feeling of like hearing it for the first time, like coming to you and you're like, oh, wow, this was a hit.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
I felt that way about Lovers and Friends with Usher. After he played the Super Bowl, I forgot how many bangers he had, and I was just listening to all of the old ones. Literally. And I'm like, this is good. This is good. This is good. Like, I just forget.
He's that guy, yeah.
Damn, that's good.
When time passes and new music comes out, it's hard to keep it all. Like, you know it all, but like keeping it all on rotation is like too much to put up with.
That's true.
What else?
I also wrote down I love TikTok edits. I think they're the backbone of marketing.
They are.
I mean, I watched the amount of things I've watched strictly because of a TikTok edit. It's like,
yeah,
those girls are the backbone of society, of marketing. You can get me watching anything with a good edit, like literally anything.
Speaking of TikTok, I love when they post movies in 27 parts and I get to watch a whole movie.
That? Okay, me too. I'm like, oh, what's this? I'm watching. 5 minutes later, I'm like, where's the next part? And I'm like frantically searching because it doesn't automatically link to it. They're like, tag me when you do it. Tag me when you do part 2. And I'm like, no, like I need part 2 now.
Yes.
I'm frantic.
It's great. Like right now, I'm trying to find the actual movie to actually watch it, and I can't find it anywhere. It's only on TikTok.
Do you know what it is?
It's called Run, Hide, Fight.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. They said it's on Amazon Prime, but it's not. So like I can only watch it on TikTok right now.
You're right. And you're like foaming at the mouth, like
really
waiting for an update
because it keeps missing like 2 seconds in between each part.
I do. Okay, this is a hate, but like when they overlap too much, like you click on the next part and it's like the last 40 seconds from the last one, or it's wasting the time. Yeah, you're like, okay, I can just skip to the middle of this whole video.
We all just came from this. Can you just
exactly?
Can you just make it work?
Keep it going in order, please. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I did also write down media that makes me cry. I love when something I'm looking for things to make me cry these days, you know? Books, movies, songs, whatever. I'll take anything.
This is actually like an actual lover girl thing, but I love forehead kisses. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sucker for I will literally say I love you. Like it's a problem because I've gotten forehead kisses from strictly like I know it's not going to be anything, you know? And I have to restrain myself from being like,
you're like,
I love
like
you.
Heart pounding.
Like, I'm in love with you. It's bad. It's bad.
That's rough.
It is rough.
Like it's so chaste too. So it's like
it's
is nothing.
You don't
but everything.
give someone a forehead kiss that you don't like. In my mind,
right? Yeah.
But
exactly.
like,
It feels so intimate. Like,
It-
you're like, what?
And it's like, I know we just had sex, but like you giving me a forehead kiss is like the next step. Like that's like third base. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you care about me.
no, like
that.
you
Yeah,
like me.
literally.
Like
Yeah.
you think about me. Like, and then to them it's just like you're just shorter than me and it's easier to give a
I don't have
She's
to bend down
okay,
as far.
yeah,
That's-
bend mine.
like there have been times where I'm like, what do you mean you're not interested? You've given me a forehead kiss. And they're like,
What does that
that's
even?
not even
How
like
how did we get there?
yeah, so the delusion in me and thinking that forehead kisses are like basically asking me to marry you is like I'm way off my rocker on that one, but boy do I love them. So I'm trying to think of like actual like
I mean, I feel like mine are just so like I'm just like an activity girl, swimming. I fucking love a pool.
these are things that I like.
I love going to the ocean.
I know.
I
I was
love
just
being
like
in the
listing
pool.
things. I'm like, I'm like pulling your bias out of a K-pop album.
Yeah.
Love that for me. When you get to a crosswalk and it immediately turns green, love that for me.
That's the one.
Getting off early on Fridays.
Yeah,
so
Summer
amazing.
Fridays we love.
Amazing.
When your package comes earlier than you expected it to, it's like that. That is
Yeah.
everything to me.
When the jeans fit and you didn't think they were gonna fit.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's a great time.
There's so much.
Good hair
So-
days.
Ugh.
Not experiencing one now, but when I do, it's great and I love it.
Don't know about it.
You will know. I'm in my lover girl era right now, so
Yeah.
I'm in my soft.
Tell us about
my
that.
soft girl era. So like,
Yeah.
I love not having to argue. You know,
Mm.
I love being taken care of. You know, not having to
Mhm.
worry. You know, they say when you're with someone, you're supposed to just not even have to think. So like, I like not having to think. That's great.
Ugh, I love not thinking.
Just being
No thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts, head empty. Just you're telling me what to do, like little plankton in there and like, controlling my movements. But so previously before I would be like, oh, I'm in my lover girl era, but like I meant that as like I just loved a lot of people, like not
Right.
like you know,
Right.
like I'm just
Yeah.
I'm loving like the entire roster.
I am in love. Like,
I'm
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
love with many people, so I'm a lover girl. That's what
Yeah,
that meant
that's
to
that.
me. But now, lover girl to me, now that I have flourished into a changed woman and I don't do rosters anymore, lover girl for me just means soft and feminine and easy and nice. And, you know, leaning into that stereotype of feminine energy, divine energy, if you will. That's what being a lover girl means to me. Do I get to really exhibit that? Not much. Not much.
But those moments are so much sweeter then, right?
They are.
yeah.
When
the
I
few
get
moments
to
there.
when I get to be nice and dainty and womanly, which is not very often, it's a good time. It's a good time, but it doesn't feel like me though. I will say that. Like as much as I want to be a lover girl, I'm a city girl at heart. Like
That's the thing. You're like, I'm in my lover girl. I'm like, I could not relate any less.
I'm
I
just
know I was like, not me, but okay.
I
like, I'm
want
loving
to
this
be
era
like
for
that's
you.
the thing. Like I want so hard to be
Yeah.
in my lover girl
like
era,
a
but
cottage girl, just like a
yes,
yeah,
like
yeah.
soft girl,
like Nara Smith, just like baking bread.
I was
just
just
like-
thinking, I was like Nara Smith, like baking and
Making
like
her own
making food. Just
cheeses.
yes.
It's-
I
yeah.
wish
her
I
like
could
soft
be like that.
voiceovers. Like
Yeah, I
that's what I
mean,
want to be, but
We got to be honest.
Not who I am.
I'm more of a rat girl than anything. Like
we talked about hot dogs as the first love of this
Yes,
episode.
so, like,
we're rats.
so
I'm not a lover girl.
we are
We're
the city rats.
we're
Like
city
it's
girls.
fine.
We're city rats. Like that's really what we are. And you know,
Haters first, truly. Like
I'm tired of. You know what?
Love
Maybe
us or hate us. Like I mean,
this is the real purpose of this episode. We are haters
yeah.
to our core, and we can't fake it. So if you've listened to this entire podcast,
Honestly, because I do feel like we were a little tame this episode, and it's because like nothing was like riling us
No.
up besides the 444 situation.
yeah,
but like every
when the whole section of us talking about food, like that got us going, and then the rest we were like, oh, you know,
I like clouds.
green lights or
because it's not who we are.
It isn't.
It's not. We tried something different, guys, and
we really did.
We
tried
didn't work
for you.
It's not us. So this is the first and last time that we will have a Lover Girl episode because we're not Lover Girls.
I would not have
Until
anything
Adia
new to
gets
add.
more forehead kisses, we are not.
And that's not happening in the foreseeable future. So until then, haters first, humans second.
Oh God, it's just
Part
so,
3.
Exactly.
it's just easier living our truth.
It really is. Live your truth.
Yeah.
If you take one thing from this episode,
If you-
it's live your truth.
Yeah.
And truthfully, we're haters.
Live your truth. Be honest with yourself. Like,
Don't fake it
if
for
you're a
anyone
hater, you're a
else.
hater. Like, it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh my
There's
God.
nothing wrong with that. You know, I saw a video the other day that said hating doesn't take more energy. Like it just
really
comes so
doesn't.
naturally to me that it's not.
It's like second nature. Like,
It
it's
is.
a part of who I am. And I'm like, people really have to dig deep to hate? No, I don't.
I don't.
Like,
It's there. It's already there. I have to dig deep to love.
You're
Okay.
Actually, the more I think about it, like that, yeah. It's like,
it was tough.
This was
coming
the
up with
hardest
this list of
episode we've
things.
ever done.
well, I'm literally texting the group chat, like, what's on your list? Like, I can't think of
This
anything.
truly was one of the hardest episodes we've done. And we've talked about like
A lot of
9/11. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like hard.
Fanfic came easier than this. We
It
didn't even
did.
have. I had more on this list than I did. Like the fanfic, I had
Nothing.
50 Shades.
We had like
Yeah.
3 things, and then we were like, okay,
Yeah.
hour half episode.
We had to
like,
think about this one. Like,
Literally hour
and
and a
typically
half.
we just roll up and we know what we're saying.
and half the shit we listed, we've already talked about.
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
Exactly.
Y'all know I love a tennis court. Like there's nothing new here.
There's nothing.
Like, you know,
in
we
here.
love concerts,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Like, you know.
It was a good idea in theory, but
Yeah.
it ain't us.
It's not us.
Unfortunately.
So funny.
Yeah. So
On to Ix, right? No.
here we go.
On X, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I've been waiting.
On to my kicks for this
Yeah.
week.
Your kid.
My kicks. I only have one on here, but I know that there's more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I absolutely cannot stand the phrase or the idea that someone is too busy. Like, you're not the president. You're not like the leader of a country. Like, there's no one in this world besides people that actually like do things like that are too busy. Especially if you're just a regular person. Like, what are you too busy to do? I'm confused. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not even talking about like a guy like talking to you. It's just like, oh, sorry, I was too busy. Doing what? Like, at this point, the next time someone tells me they're too busy, I wanted a full fucking itinerary of what you did for the day. Because you're telling me you didn't have time to shit, you didn't have time to eat, you didn't have time to drink. Like, you have some point in your day, you have a sliver of time to do something, like respond back to me, and you're too busy.
I'm gonna co-sign that actually. I would love an itinerary.
Honestly, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My other ick is the fact that literally every team that I actually like, whether it's like a lot to a little bit, is out of the playoffs for the Stanley Cup. And the Canucks are out, and I feel so bad for Quinn Hughes because it was 3-2, and it was... Anyway,
Yeah.
so I really have no one to root for right now in the Stanley Cup Finals, and now I've realized I owe $800 to the Norfolk Admirals by October.
You know, I was thinking about that today because they posted the season tickets, and I'm like, should I text Adia and be like, how's it going?
I forgot that I
Oh
owe
my
them
God.
money until I saw that, and I'm like,
That's
Oh
because
my
okay, they
gosh.
should have been doing like they should have emailed you. Like they just like took your word
they
for it. Like,
literally
you know
just
what I
said, "Give us
mean?
$100
That's
and we'll see
crazy
you
that
in
they didn't
October."
send the follow-up.
Right,
Nothing,
exactly.
nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
I
When
was
you
like-
came like months
Oh.
ago and you're like, they didn't even ask for like a credit card info. It's like
No.
that's a red
I said,
flag.
I need y'all to tell me dates that this is due, because if not,
October now.
October is when it's going to be paid. Anyway, that's my ick for the week, just forgetting that I owe money.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's fair.
it's months away, so I'll worry about it later.
Start putting that into the budget though, because
True.
that's gonna be a rough one. It's a
Hoping
lot.
to find a sugar daddy when I'm in San Diego.
Oh, fingers crossed. My loves were the 2 concerts I went to, but then my ick were 2 weekday concerts.
Ah.
Who do I think I am
At 30.
at 29, almost 30, going to 2 weekday concerts,
And
both starting
working.
7:30, 8 p.m.
Girl,
Yeah, and working
Monday
Yeah.
and Wednesday.
a Monday?
My bad. Like,
Monday is wild. Monday is wild, Aaron.
And I was like, the Monday concert, it was like a fan meet. So because they don't have enough songs for a concert because they're a new group. Ooh. So they like did their, you know, when they were performing their songs, we were like up and, you know, having fun. But then they like did fan meet and we're like chitty chatting with each other and like the audience. So we were able to sit down. But when I tell you my whole body was aching on Tuesday and I was like, I have to do this again tomorrow. You're joking. So
too old
played
for
myself, but like I had a good time.
Yeah.
But like after like coming home and having to like lay vertically or horizontally for, you know, 30 minutes before I like, okay, now time to take a shower. Now time to like go to bed. It was just not a good time.
Oh man.
And then my other ick is my vitamin D deficiency rearing its ugly head again. Like
what?
That's so fake. So I'm back to taking those vitamin D pills. Thank you. And they seem to be working.
I thought you were taking walks and stuff. Like, that's sun.
I have been, but it was just like...
What? That's wild.
Just Aaron things.
Yeah. I feel like I should have mentioned in my loves, like, I'm a summer girl. Because you talking about vitamin D, I'm obsessed with the sun being out till 8 p.m.
I love spring and summer. Yeah. That actually was one of my loves, like a good 65 to 70 degree day. I was Perfect. Like, I love warmth, but not like so hot. So anyway.
But my ick for the week, I only have one, surprisingly, because like I thought I was gonna come in, but you know, you guys had me thinking too much about the loves, I think. So I was just, you know, the topic of the week. But my ick for the week is the Eagles, the band, because they sued Frank Ocean over American Wedding because he used like the instrumental of Hotel California. So the reason I'm mad is because I want to listen to that album. I want to listen to Nostalgia Ultra, but it's not on Spotify because they sued him because it was like a copyright infringement or whatever. So I've been listening to it on YouTube, but it doesn't hit the same. Like I was just looking through my recently watched, and it's literally like 40 of his, like, just because I've been listening to it on repeat. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want my YouTube to be like this. No. Like YouTube, as we discussed, is for my fun little algorithm. I don't want to be recommended music, like generally speaking. So I'm mad at the Eagles because like he only has Novocaine and Swim Good like as singles on Spotify, and it's like, girl, that's it. Nostalgia Ultra was like that girl. Like she was. So I'm mad at them right now. Luckily there's a workaround, but yeah, that's that. Well, what a wild episode.
What a crazy episode. Somehow it always comes back to being a hater, so
always true.
I mean, that's just who we
fight
are.
It anymore at this point, you know.
Anyway, thank you so much, listeners, for listening to us. If you don't follow us already, follow us, subscribe, please. We love you. Bye.
Bye.